pay attention. We'll see. Go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of First and Last. My name is Josh, and with me this week we have Joe.
Hey, man.
And Claire.
Hey.
What up, Claire?
You know.
Wearing your coat, hugging a pillow, drinking a beer.
This is the dream. I also have like hand warmers in my pocket because I was walking Zelda earlier, and it's a little cold.
Zelda's a dog, not a princess from Hyrule, just in case people are
She's
wondering.
a
Dog.
She is. She's a little cute. She's a pupper. Anyway, but now my pockets are very warm, so I'm going to get nice and toasty and comfortable today.
Nice.
I'm glad I'm here.
I'm glad you're here, too.
Thanks.
Joe, for the people that have never listened to this show for some reason, what is First and Last?
We take a TV show and we watched only the first and the last episode. Nothing in between. Nothing beyond it. No movies. Just the TV show.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
Very succinct.
Sometimes the last season has nothing to do with the rest of the show.
Unfortunately, that is true.
And I
we
feel like
follow the rules.
when we saw Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, that episode was a movie.
The pilot was a movie.
Yeah, that was. So sometimes movies get thrown in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you weren't there for the end of MASH.
I was not, but I heard a lot about it, and I heard you guys loved it.
It was really good, but it was very long.
You know.
So, movies can go either way.
It's a good way to judge things. Just see the beginning and end.
Speaking of movies, I watched The Phantom Menace yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah. So that's a movie.
Cool.
Since Disney Plus is a thing now.
Mm-hmm. You're all up in there.
Oh my gosh.
My household is now going through the Star Wars universe.
Now this is podcasting.
Get it?
I get it.
Are you an angel? Just the two quotes I know from that movie.
Anakin gets picked up by Obi-Wan because he's a little kid, and he goes, "Oh!" Everything that kid says is hilarious. Going into going, it's not a very good movie, but it's still Star Wars, so a lot of it's still pretty fun.
Yeah.
But especially little kid Anakin, it sounds like he's sitting on the set, and they say, "Okay, record," and then some dude right off camera goes, Hey, Obi-Wan, what's up? And then the kid goes, "Hey, Obi-Wan, what's up?" And then
just repeating lines.
"I love it too. I love it too." It sounds like the kid just hears somebody say it and then just says it, because he only says one sentence at a time, just enough to just repeat whatever is happening. He's really the kid is the best part of this movie because it's just terrible child acting.
I'm gonna say one thing though. I did have a conversation earlier this week with my friend Andrew because both of us equally were annoyed with the whole population of people that we know.
Wait,
when
wait, what?
Because everybody that we knew was bringing up what are you watching on Disney? Ooh,
Disney
and I'm like,
Plus.
how is so much of our lives surrounded by this company? Which, first off, I don't
They
really like
own
anything
most of the
Disney.
world.
I don't like anything Marvel. I don't like Star. I mean, I'll see it, but I'm not going to sit down and be like, "Ooh, Disney's around. I'm going to watch Dumbo." No,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
sorry. Also, you probably own The Phantom Menace on DVD. Do you not?
No.
Okay. Do you own other Star Wars on DVD?
I don't own any Star Wars on DVD. I also own 4 DVDs.
But
because
do you
it's
know?
2019
But
and
do you
everything's
know
streaming.
how to find these shows on the internet for free?
Well, of course.
So then why are we
Well-
having this moment where everyone's like, "I'm going to watch this whole thing"?
Because
He's
now they're just
also-
all in one spot and there. I don't know.
He's also not paying for it.
I'm also not paying for it.
That's a key feature, I think.
But it's
if
not-
it's just available to you, sure, check it out.
Okay. I mean, I'm not mad about it, except for the fact that there was a whole weekend of my life
You
where
sound
everyone.
a little mad about it.
Okay.
No,
Maybe I was.
get it.
I was walking my dog, speaking another time, walking Zelda, and I was on the phone. And I was just ranting about this, and then I was worried that people would hear me and be like, "Man, that girl hates Disney. She's terrible."
No,
And
I
I'm not
get
a terrible
that.
person.
It's weird that so many of us, especially millennials, are just S and the D of this giant corporation,
Why do you gotta be a graphic?
saving the date of this
Oh,
giant
okay.
corporation.
Tricked her. Got her. Yeah, it's just a new thing, and it's America wide. It just released in here. It's just went to Australia, I think, the other day or something like that. It's just a really big entertainment thing that happened, and when big entertainment things happen, people talk about it. That's why people talk about when a new Marvel movie comes out in theaters because it's the thing that's happening right now. Brings everybody together and gives people things to talk about.
I know. Maybe I'm just like an outsider.
It's
my own personal problem.
It's one of like what if like the PBS network stream everything on PBS ever streaming came out?
I do have the PBS like kind of streaming thing, but it is limited.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I would ever engage in a deep conversation, and I don't think I would like go binge watch a show. Like I don't think I would stop and be like, "All right, everybody, we got to go watch all the Masterpiece classics. Like this is lit. Like let's go watch Frontline from 1995." Not gonna happen. But I also think I don't watch TV the way normal people do, which is why I'm on this podcast, because I've never seen any of this stuff, and a lot of these people have seen all of this.
Right.
But maybe not the show we're going to watch today. Shocking. Get ready.
What a segue, Claire.
I know. I'm just trying to get back.
Claire picked a very indie show. It's like
No!
not owned by any sort of corporation.
Yeah, fuck you, Disney. You don't
I
got
think
this
this was
show.
on CBS and then was recently, like, the rights were purchased by ABC recently. So.
The show's making the rounds. What show is it?
Designing Women.
All right.
Disney-signing women.
Disney's
Okay.
Designing Women.
Actually, the title was supposed to be, like, about cunning women who are, like, going against things and making their own decisions. But it's a pun because, well, you'll find out.
Did they make clothes?
I don't know.
See, I feel like you've talked to me about the show before, and now all I can think about is that this show is about like a scientist who like creates like women robots. That face
Joe.
you're making right now
Like
makes
Joe.
it seem like that's not the show.
like
though.
weird science?
Kind of, yeah. And he's like trying to design the perfect woman.
You clearly don't listen to me, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Designing women robots.
Now when you're talking about just amazing topics such as designing women, the TV show. But don't turn this podcast off. We're going to talk about it.
So
It's gonna be
designing
great.
is designing an adjective then? It's not a verb. It's designing women that are designing.
Well, am I going to tell you what the show's about? Like now that you've already said
See,
these things about
this is why we
scientists?
need to use like people first language, because then we could say it's women that are designing. Designing women is
Well,
confusing.
I feel like you're trying to like make fun of people person first language, and I'm here to be an advocate for that. However, this show is about to be great. I hope. I have no idea. I haven't seen it since like 1997.
I don't want to disrail us from designing women, but what is people first language? Can you say
person first? So that would be when you describe the person before you would describe, say, their disability or something about them. So a person of color, a student with a disability, so you be Josh, who is also a man that is balding. You're not a bald man. See the difference?
Okay.
So
I mean, you didn't describe anything about me besides just that my name is Josh.
no, but like
I thought you meant like, oh, this is Josh. He likes reading. Also, he's bald.
no. It'd be one thing if I said, so it's like if I called you a bald man, or a man who is balding. Like you're a man first, you're a person first, and then you're balding. That's a terrible example, but like I was trying to pick something really fast.
Okay. It still sounds mean.
Well, it's a way to take the meanness and still go first with you're human.
The idea,
I
yeah.
mean, I get it. I thought maybe it was going to be like their characteristics, their like character traits, or like something like good about like what they like and dislike, or like what they like to do, or what they're interested in.
The idea,
then if you had to describe it, I don't know why you'd have to like go into that much detail.
It's mostly so you don't just like disregard entire groups of people as just this one thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
I mean,
we're
would it be-
working on increasing people's understanding of this concept. So hopefully this podcast will also help.
Okay, that is interesting. We had a friend. We had a friend in college, who like I went to college and it was like predominantly white people, and then like there's a couple
People who
of
are white.
color. Yeah, there was
And
people,
people of color.
who also happened to be white predominantly, but then there
Okay.
was also other people who happened to be not white there. But one of our friends in college, he had dreads, but he was also black. And so people would be like, Ben? Yeah, the one with the dreads. And it would be, and there's like 3 people that had dreads. And you're like, out of like 1,500 people or whatever, you'd be like, yeah, cool. I think I know who you're talking about. And they're like, oh yeah, like yeah, he's black and he has dreads. And you're like, well, can you just lead with that so I know exactly who you're talking about? Like dreads isn't like neither one of those are his defining characteristic, but it's just like when there's a group of white kids, like, and like two people have dreads, but one of them happens to be like the black. It's like, oh, that's just easy to quick go. Now I know who you're talking about, not like that black kid, blah blah blah. Like they're not saying anything bad. They're just trying to let you know who it is.
Okay, but I would say that mostly with person first language, you're using this when you're describing the person. So you'd be talking about
this would be
somebody,
like you're in a room and you're trying to tell them where Ben is.
Like, okay, I'm going to use an example that I hate when people use, which I can't believe I'm going to say out loud because I'm trying to not say this. But when someone says...
bleep the whole thing.
But when someone says a person is autistic, so they'll be like, he's autistic. Sorry, that was like frustrating for me to say out loud. Mm-hmm. So you would say he's a person with autism, right? So he has a disability, but he's a person first, right? And so using actually like that, the term autistic to describe someone is not something that is used. But even though I work in this field, I still have coworkers, especially frustrating ones, that continue to not understand this because, again, you're trying to not label this person. It'd be like more like you're trying to put a label on someone and that's what they are first before they're human, and this happens a lot with people with disabilities. I don't know how we just got on that.
Well, and like the context is very important. Like it happens a lot with people.
First. Yeah, it makes sense. It seems like a really friendly version almost of mind control. not really, but it's like, because both of those things are the same thing. And
Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, and if you're not like a meanie, you're like oh, like the autistic person over there, or not the person with autism. Like you're saying like person and then the thing instead of just saying the thing, which is like most people I think would just like think the same thing, but it's just like a word trick to like. It's
a word trick, but it's also like a way of seeing people in the world.
Yeah.
But I also understand what you're saying, but I don't know. I live in this world a lot more than I think normal people do.
I don't care. If you're cool, I'll high five you and we'll chill. Like, Yeah. So, whatever.
But anyway.
So, what is designing women about?
Women that are designing.
So, it went 7 seasons, 163 episodes, and it looked like it went from 86 to 93.
There's also a lot of drama behind the scenes. Like, I did a couple Google searches. A lot of People magazine covers in like the 90s, which is like the heyday. There was like Sally Jesse Raphael, which met with all of the leads. Like there's a lot of drama behind the scenes, and they also were competing with Golden Girls was going around, but Golden Girls started after the show, and then it was also tied to like Murphy Brown. So this was one of the first shows ever on TV that had a female writer and had female leads. So that was why it was a huge deal.
I didn't know Tina Fey was this old.
Tina Fey actually is connected to the show,
oh, really?
Which is weird. And I didn't even make that connection until you just said that.
That writer? I mean that person who is also a writer.
Person who also writes.
You got it. I forget her last name, but Linda writes this show.
On a first name basis.
I know. Linda and I are pretty chill. I forget her last name.
Well, her name is Linda Bloodworth?
See, that's probably why he didn't.
How did you forget that name?
Linda Bloodworth Thomason.
Yeah, she had a double last name.
Yeah, she has a hyphen.
And I feel like maybe her husband was part of her writing team. But
Bloodworth.
The story of the show, now granted, I read a couple blurbs, but really I'm going off of my childhood memory because this was on syndication and I would sometimes see it and I remember liking it, laughing about it, and thinking they were very like quirky women. But it's in the South. I think it's in Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, I'm right. And there's 2 sisters, and they are interior designers. This is like an interior designing firm.
I'm already seeing this name pun going on.
Yes, there we go. We're there. And these women are going through, and they're living life, and they're dealing with problems and drama. There's a lot of episodes of the show that were the dealing with the problem of the day, like, but in this funny, cunning way. It was also a liberal slant, according to a lot of things that I was reading. However, the lead was conservative. So anytime there's an episode where she felt like her character was too liberal and not following her own personal views, they had to promise her in another episode in which she would sing and focus on her voice, which I do not know how I was going to get tied into the show.
What's conservative about that?
Nope, I don't know.
So
but that
actress,
was her trade-off.
The actress was conservative?
Yeah, so the actress herself as a human was conservative.
I thought the character she played was a conservative.
The character she played was liberal. So the deal was, anytime you're going to have my character do something that I don't agree with as a notable conservative, you will have to then have an episode in which I will focus my voice and have a song.
It sounds like this is a person who is full of themselves.
Oh, and that too.
Do you know, like, what things are particular? Because I just feel like the liberal conservative, it probably means something different in like 1986 or whenever this was.
The things that I kept seeing was that there's a lot of ties to the Clintons. They talk about one of the characters had worked on Clinton's campaign in Arkansas or worked with Clinton. Sure. And then there's something about they were trying to get to the inauguration.
Young Monica Lewinsky.
But I also know that the episodes that I can remember that I've actually watched later clips of was they did an episode about AIDS that was a really big deal. And they actually, like, so the writer's mom was dying of AIDS at the time, I think. I'm not 100% if it was the writer. I'm pretty sure it was Linda, good old Linda.
Bloodworth.
But her mom...
that becomes a weird last name.
Yeah, well, so what happened was her mom had a transfusion and had AIDS and was dying. And someone had said to her, I don't know the quote. I wish I had this in front of me. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to fail at this. But something to the effect of like, well, those people deserve what it's all the bad people anyway. Yeah. And that was sort of the token of the episode. However, I have seen clips of it, and it was a very awkward episode with like parts of it that were really good and provocative for the time.
Isn't it good to at least know that the majority of America knows that the person that said that, oh, those bad people deserve that?
Yeah.
That at least the majority of America knows that person was on the wrong side of history.
Yeah, right?
Like, isn't that
good? Because at the time,
that was a conservative viewpoint, is that like the bad people deserve to die.
Well, it was the 80s. And
Solid
90s.
Ideology got there.
Being conservative is not a bad thing. It's when it comes equipped with bigotry is when that becomes a bad thing.
But so from what I remember, there's these ladies, they're hanging out, they're trying to solve the world's problems in a funny way. It's very jokey with each other. It's supposed to be very witty. There's also this man involved, and he has like a last name I can't remember his last name. But he is like their delivery man, and he comes in and he's really funny, but he's an ex-convict and he's African American. And I just remember him being really like a highlight and funny. So I don't remember, and I don't know if he shows up in the beginning of the show, but it'll be interesting to see what happens in the first episode. I have no idea.
So what I think right now is that there's like
what's gonna
two
happen?
Sisters, and they're like designers, like interior designers.
I'm pretty sure it's interior design.
Show star. Oh, let me paint you a picture here of a show I've never heard of before 20 minutes ago. Show opens. Two women fluffing pillows on a couch.
Could be.
They're like, we did it. Mr. Johansson will be very happy with what we've done. In walks black convict man. They don't know he's a convict yet, but Claire does, so I'm going with that. And he's like, oh, shoot, this is great. You did a great job. And they're like, this is your house? Whoa.
Oh.
And they're like, yes. And he's like, I like what you guys have done here. I want to hire you for more work.
Yeah.
And they're like, cool. And then shenanigans. Then we meet 3 or 4 other women for some reason. And then the show ends in a high five.
Ooh, I really hope there's a high five.
I think it's mostly that, except at the end, before they high five, they turn around to reveal the electrical panels in their back because they're all robots.
So I have a feeling that you guys aren't going to like the show, but I'm going to have a really good time. I know that there's like, they're all very unique characteristics and characters. So like there's the sweet one, there's the dumb one, there's the sexy one, there's a smart one. I can't remember who's who, but as a kid, I remember who I liked and didn't like, and I'm really interested to see if I watch it now, if I still feel that way.
I think I'm the sexy one.
You are, Joe.
Definitely.
He's bringing sexy back.
Hey, even if we don't like it, I'm almost confident that a show from late 1980s is going to give us things to talk about. So, should we dive into this first episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We'll see you after the first episode of Designing Women.
Ooh.
Did I say a word?
You said it really...
Designing Woman.
Okay, now you sound like a Muppet.
And we're back. We finished the pilot of the first season of Designing Women. I think it might have had a name, actually. It was just called Designing Women.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
That's good.
They gave it a name. I got a write-up really quick. Suzanne visits a new gynecologist who is Mary Jo's ex-husband, Ted, and an uproar is created when she announces she is dating him. In this episode, Mary Jo is just called Jo.
See, that even that description just sounds like a mid-season episode.
Yeah. So, let's get into that right away. As a pilot or a first episode, this didn't do a very good job.
You just drop right in there.
Yeah. It was like literally like it felt like mid-season on any show. It was good and entertaining.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good episode of TV. I thought it was entertaining, but it was like, who are these people?
I do feel like I felt like I kept skipping a beat. Like, I missed what had happened, and I need to be really listening hard to figure out what they were talking about. It's also very fast. Their dialogue's fast. It's very quick. Apparently, that's something that I read. The way that they wrote this, she wrote it on legal pads. Good old Linda. Mm-hmm. And because of that, they would actually have to sometimes speed up the scenes, like later on in editing, because to fit in all the content.
Oh, like literally like times like 105% or what, like, you know.
It sounds like that's what they had to do. They had to kind of like make it faster. And some scenes when I was listening to them, I'm like, hold on. Like I even told you guys to be quiet a couple times because I was like, I can't figure out what they're saying.
Yeah. So help me out. Who are the characters and what do they do? How do they know each other?
Well, I mean, I got all the characters' names.
Okay.
And the actors who play them. There's Jean Smart, who plays Charlene, who very topical right now. She's in the new Watchmen show on HBO. She's lovely and fantastic, and she's a national treasure.
But so she is like, I feel like the secretary of this design firm.
Yeah, I don't know what they're
She's not a designer. She's there. She was like dealing with the mail, dealing with the bills, dealing with the phone calls. So she's the secretary of the design firm.
All four of these women all work at this company, right?
Yeah, which looks like a house, feels like a house, but it's clearly...
Are you sure it's not just someone's house?
No, because they talk about it like it's the office.
Well, I mean, you know.
But maybe they all live there. Well, I don't know.
I don't think they all live there, but I bet it's one of their houses. I kind of feel like it is.
But which person are you talking about next?
Delta Burke, who is Suzanne.
So Delta Burke is Suzanne, and Suzanne is the sibling of the person who started this design firm. And Suzanne was a former beauty queen. Suzanne
was the one that went out with Ted, who is Mary Jo's ex-husband.
Okay.
And Mary Jo would be Annie Potts. I recognized, at least facially, like I recognized Jean Smart and Annie Potts the most. The other two looked like mildly familiar to me, but I feel like I could place those other two women.
What's Annie Potts from?
I guess I can't place her in a thing, but she's in like, it's not Ghostbusters. I'm trying to think. It's something like that. I'm gonna look it up.
Annie Potts,
but
not for me. It's a Ben Folds reference.
I gotcha.
She's a brick.
I forgot that people couldn't see my face.
And then there is Dixie Carter, who played Julia.
So Julia is the head designer.
Oh wait, Annie Potts was in Ghostbusters. Give it up, suckers.
Okay, there you go.
Right.
What
I
was
was like-
Dixie's last name?
She was the
Carter?
Oh, Annie Potts was she was the what's it called? The secretary in Ghostbusters.
Okay, yeah,
That's who
yeah.
Annie Potts was.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I like that. I was like, how can you place her? I don't think I can place her.
Mm.
But
And then you said
I
it.
think about Ghostbusters, and then I looked it up, and literally that's her number one bill is Ghostbusters.
And
She's also was apparently in Pretty in Pink.
Annie Potts.
She was Bo Peep in Toy Story 4 apparently.
No.
But yep.
I was surprised there's not more things that I would have known her from. But okay. Annie Potts though, so she is like a hired designer. She's not related to Dixie Carter, which is Julia.
Yep.
So Julia and Suzanne are sisters. And Julia is the kind of the head of this design firm.
Is Julia the one who you were describing as being like quote unquote the main character who's conservative in real
Yes.
life?
So Dixie Carter is conservative in real life. She's the main character Julia. Sorry, I read her last name as I was saying it.
When you describe one of these women is a conservative in real life, and I read the names Jean, Delta, Dixie, and Annie, and I went, oh, well, Dixie's the like.
Dixie.
Yeah. Annie's the only one that was born not in the South. That was apparently a big fun fact I kept reading online.
Who is?
Annie Potts was
Okay,
born
yeah.
in Seattle, Washington.
I would guess that by the name.
Yeah. But
So all four of these women work at this design firm.
yes.
Did one of them start it or something?
So it was Julia's design firm, from what I understand, and I know that Suzanne. So apparently she gets all these monies from the guy she's been married to. She gets a lot of alimony.
Yeah.
So she doesn't, I think, do a lot of work, but I think that she helped fund the design firm.
And it's an interior design firm.
Interior design. That's what they were talking about at the beginning scene. They were trying to show us that.
Is that a
sort of.
thing that exists now?
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Do you not? Yes.
Have you never watched HGTV?
Like I just pointed out, like on Netflix, there's like the interior design Star Wars thing. There's all kinds of that stuff.
Interior
Interior design Star Wars.
Yeah,
Cool.
don't you know about interior design Star Wars?
Okay, there's no Star Wars. It's not on Disney Go or whatever that shit's called.
No, you're thinking about HBO Plus.
Okay.
Episode
I don't
4.
know, man.
Some new drapes.
But
Disney Prime.
Yeah.
but it seems like Annie Potts' character Mary Jo, she's like the divorcee, hard-working woman who needs this job. She needs to make this money. She needs to get these accounts.
How'd you get like any of the other stuff besides she's divorced through this episode? Or
Did
you just
you
know
not
this?
see the beginning? You were eating pizza. I don't know if that's what you're distracted about, but she walked in and was explaining how like she needed this. And then like also when Delta is talking about things with alimony, and so that's Suzanne
Delta
and
Suzanne.
all of the things in the past, all of the other women were mad at Annie being like, why didn't you take his money from this gynecologist guy, Ted? It was very much implied that she didn't have the funding that she needed. And she talked about being basically a single mom, which I'm sure in 1986 was not something that... It's like the divorce rates were just starting to creep up in the 80s, right? We're finally starting to not make women stay with these terrible men. Not saying that men didn't stay with terrible women either. So,
Well, and there was also... They were talking about a client they had, and they're like, ooh, and they're an interracial couple.
I did catch that.
Yeah.
Oh, Harry Belafonte. Who is that? And like,
He's an actor and singer.
I thought he was a singer, right?
is he a white guy?
No, he's black.
Okay.
The Banana song. They like, come on, we want to go home. That's
You
him.
like peanut bananas?
Wait, those are two different songs, but
Yeah.
like, keep on singing, guys.
But yeah, the joke about that
a
was
banana
like,
split in the rain.
yeah, totally into interracial stuff as long as it's Harry Belafonte.
I didn't get the joke. I didn't think it was funny.
There was a lot of jokes that I did not understand.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think they like mentioned a couple other people, like they referenced people, and I think at one point, Claire, you're like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Anybody they reference, we're not going to understand who they are, like for the most part, because it's like '86, so they're referencing people that are like in their prime, probably 4 or 5 years even before that. So like we've all not been born yet. Like we've been born at the start of the show, we're alive, as humans speaking these microphones. But we weren't born for these prime people in the 80s, really.
Sure. But I feel like even not like specific references, but just certain jokes about things that I was just like, is that just like a cultural reference I don't get? Or like,
do you have an example of that?
There was one where there's a man who goes to talk to them at this like restaurant where they're at.
Ray Don.
Oh, Ray Don. I was like, Artie?
Ray Don.
I don't know why I wanted to call him Artie.
And then so they tell him off, essentially like tell him to buzz off. And then he's like, cool, I'm going to go make some phone calls. And then there's a laugh. And then we're like, what? Was that a reference to something?
Oh, yeah,
like,
because Josh explained it.
I don't think that's a reference. I just think that's showing that he's a shitty dude that doesn't understand what they want him to go away.
That's like what happens with creepy men.
Oh, because he said, I'm going to go make a phone call and come back?
Yeah, and they
like you have your girl time, I'll be back because I'm going to stay being creepy.
Yeah, obviously. So you don't get that, Joe. Maybe because you're...
You have a penis.
No. You don't get it maybe because you're not a horribly creepy man. I get it because I'm a creep.
Anymore.
No, but if you were, but even if you were a horribly creepy man, you'd be like, that guy is doing the right thing, right? The joke about that, though, again, I think that this is probably why this show lasted for as long as it did, is it's joking about shit that women have to deal with that typically is not discussed in shows in the 80s. And then this seems like, then Murphy Brown shows up, and then there's also the Golden Girls where they're
Murphy
actually
Brown's
talking.
In the show?
No,
I'm just kidding.
Yes.
So
But-
the joke is that he says, "Don't worry, I get the picture. I'll be back after this." Where he actually doesn't get the picture.
Yeah, and the picture is the subtext is "Go away, we don't want you here."
Yeah.
At all.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, "Cool, I'll be back later."
No, but you're women, so like you want my attention, and like they set that one up like really deep, Joe.
Nobody
and I'm
wants-
kind of sad that you didn't catch it, but maybe you just don't know how creepy men are, which is a thing.
I also think it's just like a difference of like culture and humor from 30 years ago, right? The show's about 30 years old.
Yeah.
I think it's just like a type of joke delivery that I don't know, might have been delivered differently this year.
What I didn't understand about this show, and the joke that was the whole episode, was the fact that Suzanne
was someone's friend was
goes
so terrible.
goes to a new gynecologist, which, number one, going to your friend's ex-husband for a service is kind of weird, right? So, like, if I had a friend...
Cervix.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
See, I get that joke.
Yeah, see? That's a 2019 joke, not a 1986
But,
joke.
number one, to even then date your doctor and, like, think that that's appropriate, that's gross. So, like, she goes to this doctor, has a consultation with him, and clearly there's some slut-shaming in here. She gets around. She's had a lot of husbands. She's, like, loose and having fun. That's Suzanne or something like that. I saw 30
At
minutes.
least her friends were making fun of her and not just some random person was like, "Hey, you're a slut."
I don't know. There's a couple times where, like, they full on called her a whore, and I was just like, that's a little.
No, Julia was just talking about her appetizers. Hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Anyway.
I agree with you fully.
But, like, the fact that Suzanne goes and knows that this is her friend's ex and then is like, oh, I'm going to, like, just go on dates. It's fine, right? Like, that is... And I don't know if that's something that happened in the 80s or if that was, like, appropriate or, like, people... Like, clearly was terrible. Number one, he is your doctor. Number two, he's your friend's ex.
He's your doctor is a very loose statement. She went to see, like...
Have you ever been to a gynecologist?
Well, no, I'm saying...
Okay.
No.
I just wasn't sure.
But
if you,
I'm
like,
just
know
saying,
how that works.
Why would I have gone to a gynecologist?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying, like, I wouldn't call anybody your doctor if you went to see somebody one time.
Do you know how it works with a kind of like?
I know what they're looking at, But like, I'm just saying, like, she would go one time, and then you'd probably go, "I'm going to keep going, or I'm not going to keep going to this person." You haven't decided yet. So she went like this dude. He's not gonna be my doctor anymore. He's gonna be my baby boo.
No, that was weird and gross.
I mean,
and
you're just caught up on the
also-
fact that it's a gynecologist. But if she was he was a general practitioner.
I would also be like, because she's not going after him for his intelligence and smarts and his charm. It's also tying back to the fact that this character is like trying to get someone's money.
Well, this character is a terrible, horrible person who's not a good friend. Who I don't know if I feel like this is the what's that? Is that Gossip Girl where that dude like rapes people and then like is their best friend?
I saw that one too.
Like, I mean, he's not. She's not on that guy's level, but she's like just doing shitty things to her like best friends, and then being like, "You're fine, it's fine," and then what? In 4 episodes, we're just supposed to think like Suzanne's just part of the gang, but like in episode 1, I found out that Suzanne is a piece of shit. Like, really.
Okay.
Like that's
I do find that the humor with Charlene's character was my favorite. She had the best.
Charlene was the best.
Like, lines. Like, it was when they were all sitting around having quote unquote girl talk before that Radon showed up, that Suzanne was telling them, like, oh, I'm with Ted and he's great.
Is
and
radon
then,
something that builds up and kills you like carbon monoxide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that...
It gives you cancer.
Okay.
Joe, we gotta get that checked.
Gotta get it checked.
Okay, that's in houses. But so Suzanne was saying something like, Ted'll never hurt me. And then Charlene's like, no, but I would. And I was like, dang, girl, I like it. And then it was something like, Ted's asked me to marry him. And then Charlene's like, check. Like, just ignores it and, like, moves on with the situation.
Charlene's not going to deal with this shit.
Charlene was by far the best. What did you
I
guys
forgot
think?
that was like a plot point that like there's like talk of marriage already.
Yeah. They're fully getting married. And then she invites... So, wasn't it Suzanne just invites him over to the Designing Women house situation?
Yes, Charlene's a terrible person.
But then they had, like, the long
Or not Charlene,
conversation.
Suzanne.
And all that Mary Jo wanted was for him to be like... Because she basically had spent all of her time while he was in grad school, like, funding his life.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, like...
She supported his dreams and put hers on hold,
Which is what my mother's whole, like, big, like, hang-up is with my dad. So, like, I felt connected to this. Very 80s story.
Mm.
But,
Hey, many people do it. I have a friend who's, like, his wife has, like, a big, like, dream. And he's just like, literally, he's like, oh, what are your aspirations? And he's like, whatever, like, just to support whatever she wants to do. Like, as long as, like, her dreams are being good, I'm cool.
well, that's really cool. But it also sounds like in this situation, Ted was, like, cool with her supporting him. And then once he got to be at the level of success where he could get other women to be attracted to him, he was more into that.
Well, it just didn't seem like Ted appreciated her at all.
Yeah. But even when she was, so, like, that whole conversation was weird when they're, like, doing the back and forth. Because they also have children, and, like, it made me, like, wonder about the 80s and, like, how things were. But
Terrible
she
one
was
without
trying
the
to get
internet.
him to say, like, that she mattered and that what she did was worth it and that she was important and to say thank you. And he's just like, I hear you, but that's really hard. I'll have to think about it. And it was just like, what a terrible person.
That was the point.
What a terrible person. But then it was like Suzanne doesn't want to marry him now. I didn't get that, but
Yeah, I didn't get how that wrapped up at all.
It's because
Anyway.
Suzanne is a dumb, fickle person who, like, jumps to conclusions and then decides that, like, oh, I don't think I want to do that, even though, like, I was gung-ho about it 5 minutes ago. She's going to be if you watch the show, I guarantee you Suzanne's going to be gung-ho about things, like, all the time and then just drops them. That's just what she does. I guarantee it.
I might see episode 2. I feel like episode end of 100 whatever is going to be not anywhere near where this episode is at the beginning.
I feel like it's gonna be better
You think it is?
because it'll be 6 years closer to me getting the jokes.
Oh, Joe. Remember when they curse
Hey,
in the show?
not everything Joe is saying. There are 80s jokes, and everything is built a lot differently. I mean, you know, I got more than Joe got, but I'm just more worldly, so that's different, you know.
I just feel like it'll lean more into, once it gets a swing of things and decides that it's a feminist show, it'll lean more into that. I feel like they're still trying to get the swing of this in this episode, because even though it's like starring 4 women, it's still, the crux of it is like they're fighting over this man.
But this is like a weird time for feminism, because at this point in time with feminism, it's like post bra burning and feminism is like very not feminine and very not into this stuff and not Southern necessarily. I mean, I don't want to like put all Southern people in a box.
Feminism is Southern, and I will not have you say
no,
anything
but I
different.
think that this is showing you that feminism isn't necessarily like this word that had kind of been like labeled at the time, but it's like the act of being a feminist, the act of having your own goals and aspirations and like not having to listen to a man first. So it's like this show is feminism in action versus feminism with the title feminism. And I think that if you asked the writer of this show in 1986, is this show a feminist show? They probably would have said no. But now with our current lens, we look back and we're like, oh, that's very feminist. So I just think it's interesting how over time that changes. Anyway, I feel like we got really deep in this episode, guys. Anybody got a joke?
No.
Everybody just turned off the pod. I'm so sorry.
I mean, I lulled during this episode and I thought it was fine, but like it wasn't a very good first episode.
Yeah, it was a different time for pilots and stuff too. Like, people aren't just watching stuff from the beginning, so there's a little bit of just make this feel like a normal episode.
I mean, it is like the time when we're like, oh, Designing Women's on tonight. Oh, well, my son's got a ball game, so I can't go. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'll literally never see this episode of TV ever again.
Yeah.
Possible. Like, that's their thoughts, you know?
That's so interesting to think because it's more of like the ratings, and I don't know if this is true. I probably need to watch some shows or read some books, but it's more of like who will actually turn in like those Nelson ratings and like who's seeing it that second is going to decide like if it's kept on that night or that time. And like I do think that when I was reading about the show, they had canceled it for a little bit after the first season, but they had this like concerned viewer group that wrote like 15,000 letters to bring the show back. So it was like canceled for a month and then it got brought back. And then moved to Monday nights because it was all about the night. They kept trying different nights of the week for it. Could you also imagine that? I feel like now they set up the shows and it's like every Tuesday you're going to see King of the Hill or whatever.
The night's a big deal on TV even now. Like, it's got to have a good night. There's time slots that like you put a TV show in and it's just doomed for failure. Because that's not when people watch TV.
Well, and that's what happens to the show season 7. It got moved to the death slot on Friday night.
Oh, Friday night. Yeah, it's tough.
Unless you were the X-Files. And then you had 20 million people watching
That
it every
thrived
Friday.
on a Friday?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
That was a Friday show?
Well, it was one of the best shows ever made, so that's why it did great.
Fun fact. That was a good episode of this pod. Go back and listen. Highly recommend.
I thought you were saying this episode right now. Like,
hey, guys, this is good.
episode,
Make
guys.
sure when you finish
No.
it, re-listen to
like
this.
and subscribe.
No, I'm saying like season 1, episode whatever of X-Files. Anywho. What are these predicts? I want to know. What you got?
Well, apparently you know about all these people that aren't in the show, so you've like cheated in your predictions.
I do need to say that there was some major drama with Delta Burke in this show. And she ended up getting kicked off the show because of her behavior. By the rest of they had a vote. And it was like, should we bring her back? And everyone voted no. But then there was all of these shows about that. And they thought it was because she gained weight because she got married. And that there's like a lot of drama about that. But it ended up just being because she was terrible. And they would have to write 2 scripts for every episode to like be like, is she going to show up or not? And the whole cast voted her off.
Did people sign contracts back then?
I don't know, but it felt like Survivor, and that's a...
So you're saying is Suzanne's not in this show anymore?
Suzanne won't be in it, but let's hear what your prediction is.
All right, well, let's quickly rewrite number 3.
You can do that.
So number 1, I think Mary Jo and Ted are remarried.
Ooh. Woof.
Yeah.
Hope not.
I think some of the ladies...
Wait, who was the guy that played Todd?
Scott Bakula.
That's right.
He was in Quantum Leap and also Star Trek Enterprise.
You got so pumped when you watched
I love Scott Bakula. He's a good actor. He acted as a bad person in this episode, but he's a good actor. I don't have any thoughts on him in real life because I don't know anything about him.
Scott Bakula's fine.
Some of the ladies own a different business, or they have expanded this design business into kind of something completely different. So I think
are they still on the show though, or is it just like
I mean, that's not part of my prediction, but I thought yes, they're in the show that like maybe they're doing like maybe more. They do interior design now. Maybe they're doing like art stuff or like run a post office. I don't know.
Post office.
I think Julia sings in this episode.
I hope so.
Yep.
She clearly like needs to
Ooh.
to do that.
And then we didn't talk about this character. So they're the guy Anthony who's in the show.
He's not in it.
He wasn't in this first episode at all. So I'm gonna put Anthony into where I put Suzanne in my prediction, and I'm gonna say Anthony is going on a trip.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. I like it. I like the way you like pinch hit that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you guys thought about your predictions, but I mean, I just assume this show's going to be just wildly different.
It was
Yeah, I
hard to
think
make
very
predictions.
Yeah.
It's a 1993 show. Who knows? I also have Julia Sings because I think 1986 or 1993 they're
Love
singing.
You guys are smarter than me.
Mary Jo is wearing a dope vest in this first episode, and
Yeah,
I think there's another dope vest in this
that
finale.
bolo tie, though.
Dude, I feel like what she was wearing was super ridiculous, but probably on point for 1986.
They like won
Yeah, pretty trendy.
awards for their hairstyling and costuming, and they look terrible.
No, I'm into it.
But great.
It's 93, so I think there's a Clinton reference, some reference to Clinton. And then I think they're trying to expand the show and maybe try to do some sort of spin-off. So I think there's they go into space.
I like can't wait to tell you some fun facts. Okay, keep
Space
going.
episode. Designing space. That's it. That's 4.
Oh, okay, my turn. I think that they're gonna say bitch because they said it in this episode.
They're going to say fuck.
Whoa,
up it.
whoa! This pod is not for kids. No, I think they're gonna say the B word. I think that Dixie is gonna be, which is Julia, is gonna be moving to California because she's like such a hot interior designer, and that's California or something.
So many interiors to design over there.
California, it's so hot right now.
California.
So hot right now.
They've been in a drought since 1986. So
I think that they're gonna be throwing a party at the Designing Women house / shop / whatever that thing is.
sure.
And what I'm really hoping is that the wicker chair is still in the studio. There's like this huge wicker chair,
I
very
didn't even
80s
notice the chair.
I don't
style.
know. I don't
Was
I-
that the thing they were standing around right at the very first?
Charlene sits in it, and it's
Okay.
got the big wicker behind her. I need that to still be in the show.
All right.
If it's gone, I'm gonna be devastated.
If it's still there, I mean, it held up well then.
Right? I know, but I want. And if they're interior designers and they don't change their interiors, I
Yeah,
don't
right.
know. But that wicker chair.
Well, that's why they expanded and changed their business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But maybe it's in
Space
California.
designers.
No,
don't-
California.
Yeah, well, then maybe it was in the space,
Or space.
section of
Yeah.
California.
Was space big in the early 90s?
Space has always been big.
Oh, that's actually really
In fact,
funny.
it's ever expanding.
Well, I liked it.
All right. Now that we're done with Science Corner, let's get to the finale of Designing Women, called Designing Space. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what it's called.
It'd be so good.
But we'll see you after the final episode. I'm here with Claire and Joe. We're done with designing the women. The women have been designed.
Uh-huh.
Designing parentheses the women.
They've designed the hashtag worst show ever.
I mean, I feel like I've seen worse, but that was not what I was going for tonight. That did not hit out of the park. I no.
It was funny. It first started out with a surprise 2-parter episode last ep. I mean, they're short episodes, so it really was just like a normal 40-minute long
Okay,
episode.
Josh. Again, you gotta blast it on to the whole podcast listening that I didn't do my research well enough.
Gotta do your research.
I did, but anyway, I guess I didn't do
But
it
you
enough.
didn't. And then so that it was called Gone with the Whim.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little write up if you want to do that part.
Oh yeah, do the write up. It looks a little long.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a couple sentences. We can all handle it. With sugar bakers in such bad financial shape, we don't know why. We just know that they're in bad financial shape. The ladies are grateful when BJ gets them a job redecorating a house that resembles the great home from Gone with the Wind. until they find out that the new lady of the house plans to rip out the grand staircase and replace it with an escalator. To make matters worse, BJ finds out that their client is trying to take over Poteet, is that what it's called? Poteet Industries, and plans to give sugar bakers to his young bride, Kiki, renaming it Kiki Bakers. With Julia continuing to fight to save the antebellum Kearney mansion, BJ struggles to save sugar bakers and Poteet Industries from a takeover from the Kearneys. However, despite their efforts, Kiki Kearney announces her new plans for Kiki Bakers. Lester Kearney announces that the purchase of Poteet Industries is complete and the modernizing of the mansion gets underway. Anthony and the women are fired for insubordination. Craig, a friend of Mary Jo's, stumbles on some embarrassing news about the Kearneys' illegal financial activities, and Poteet Industries and sugar bakers are saved from the takeover. There's a lot of movie magic in that last sentence, but they were just like, Craig, oh, by the way, was the guy who played Putty in Seinfeld, Elaine's reoccurring boyfriend, or the Tick in the 2001 live action version of the Tick.
Joe was like looking him up. Did you have anything you wanted to add about that?
He's just a very handsome man, and he looks very familiar. And I was trying to place where I'd seen him, but I have never seen any of the things that he's been in.
Seinfeld and the Tick.
Yeah.
You've never seen Seinfeld?
I mean, I've seen Seinfeld, but that's not something I would be like, that's the guy from Seinfeld.
There's 100 episodes of Seinfeld, and he's in, 10?
I feel like I've seen him in something small, like a commercial or something.
Oh,
He's
I'm
definitely been
sure.
in commercials, yeah.
He also, typically in show, at least, Seinfeld. He plays, the dumb guy.
And he plays the dumb guy in this one, too.
He plays, the same character
and
from his
Tick,
Seinfeld.
He's, the dumbest man.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I
The
don't know
Tick's
anything
very
about
dumb.
that. Okay. Yeah.
But
so he was fun.
He's in it. I love him. He does play the same character, but, some people get typecast for a reason. It's because they're very good at
And there's
that
some other
scenario.
new characters like BJ. I recognize these actresses.
I wrote BJ Dash. She's an annoying character.
No, but she's an actress. I should look these people up.
Yeah.
before we talk
I don't know
about
who BJ was, but she was in there. There was Jane Hooks. She was Carlene. She was essentially she seemed like the person that just became Suzanne and Charlene, kind of put
Mixed,
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. She kind of became the two girls that left Sugar Baker. She became that one.
So that's Jan Hooks.
That's Jan Hooks, but she was in Third Rock, Coneheads, and Batman Returns. Jan Hooks has been in some shit.
Mm-hmm.
She's
on SNL.
Yeah, and she's great.
Yeah.
I like Jan Hooks. And then the other girl, there was another older lady named Alice Ghostly, I think is her name, and she played the old lady named Bernice. And basically, she was just the old character that didn't give a crap and just gave dope one-liners.
Yeah, definitely just a one-liner machine.
Yeah, she was just a one-liner machine, but it was funny.
She did win the Emmy nomination for Best Supporting Actress in a comedy series in 1992 for Designing Women.
Which she? Jan Hooks?
Bernice.
Bernice did. Oh, Alice Ghostly?
Ghostly. And I feel like she, totally deserved that.
She was funny.
If we go back to BJ, that's Judith Ivey.
Okay, who is she? I recognized her, but I couldn't place her.
Judith Ivey has been in some movies in the 80s. I feel like she's someone I've seen before, but now I'm looking at these. I'm like, I don't know these. Let me see if there's a little info on her on the Wikipedia. But she's funny. It's interesting. Those women are all women that have a similar style, which is that sunny. Oh, so she was in the Glass Menagerie and theater stuff.
I read that book in 8th grade, but that's about all I know about the glass. I think so. I
Interesting.
think so. When we read the Grass Menage,
He's very advanced.
we call it the G-Mash.
So she was in Brighton Beach Memoirs, Miles from Home, Compromising Positions, Harry and Son, The Woman in Red, Sister in Country.
Tia and Tamara?
No, different. Sister.
Well, then I don't know any of the things you just said.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Hello Again, The Lonely Guy. There Goes the Neighborhood, The Devil's Advocate, What Alice Found, and Flags of Our Fathers.
So I've heard of The Devil's Advocate was a movie in the late 90s, right? But I've never seen it.
She also appeared on Will and Grace, if you watch that show.
Never heard of it.
She's had some moments on Grey's Anatomy, which I love. Person of Interest, White Collar, Nurse Jackie, Big Love, Law and Order SVU. Who hasn't been on Law and Order SVU?
Joe.
That's true.
Yet.
Yeah. Both me and Claire have been prominent in an episode.
You guys talk about that all the time.
Yeah, episode 910, I think.
She was in Buddies with Dave Chappelle. I don't know what that is.
BJ is?
Yeah.
Cool.
But I think that, I don't know, she's definitely someone I recognize, and I don't think it's from the show. But I don't recognize any of these things that she was in.
I recognize a lot of these people, and I wouldn't recognize any of these people from this show, mostly because I don't think I've seen the show ever.
But what I think is kind of interesting for me is, as much as this episode did not hit it out of the park for me, it was interesting to see like all of these women kind of who were really funny, really good actors and actresses and all of that.
But also make kind of a bad episode of TV.
Well, I mean that's its own moment. Like that could be a lot of things. Last episode, they're trying to do Gone with the Wind, which is gross. They're dealing with the 90s style issues and trying to close up the show. But they're all, like, they came through this sitcom, and they're all women that have had careers or were in the middle of a good career. And it's kind of cool to see them be together and acting together. Like, they're a good cast together. Like, they make a good ensemble.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean, it's kind of 50-50 with some of these women that some of them were big and on the rise, like, while the show was becoming new, and some of these women kind of are like big and whatever near the end of it. Like I think Jan Hooks had a bigger career after 93 when this was done.
Yeah.
But like Annie Potts is in like Ghostbusters in like 84. So she was already like in like one of the biggest movies in America before the show even started. So it is interesting. Yeah, like everyone's kind of on a different different wavelengths. Like, they're all, like, noticeable, though. There's very few people on the show that are like, oh, I know. You wouldn't say, oh, I don't know. I know that person.
But I would say that Anthony was one of my favorite characters.
He was great. He was great.
And they needed
Bummer
him.
that he was not in the first episode.
Yeah, I know, right? But, yeah, overall, it didn't feel like they wrapped up the show. It didn't feel like they wrapped up the characters. It didn't, like, give me any, I don't know. It wasn't super fun.
My theory on this was that so they did this Gone with the Wind thing where they pretty much every main character had their own like spotlight as Scarlet from Gone with the Wind, and this is very like on the staircase, and they like flash to everybody having their own moment, and I'm just like, this is the last like two-parter episode. They're trying to just like give everybody like a spotlight moment.
Yeah.
But in no way does it have any effect on like, it's not like I'm going to let you say goodbye. You know, we're going to end the show and I'm going to let you say goodbye. They don't, maybe it's a sign of the times, you know, and it's not just how TV works anymore in the 2000s and the 2010s. The 10th, what did we call it? What is it called, Joe?
The 2010s, yeah.
The aughts and the teens, the 20-teens.
The teenies.
It's not how TV works. And I mean, I think there's a reason why TV has like, there's a cat. If people can hear, there's a cat eating in here.
Everybody knows
there's
about
random
Pete.
crunching. Everyone loves Pete. It goes Pete, Spaghetti Jim, Joe, Claire, me.
You just shamed him into leaving.
Yeah.
He like left half his dinner. He's just like, fine, I'm out.
He's been, it's like 10:30. He's been eating that since 6:30. So
he's a grazer.
Yeah, he grazes. He likes snacks, not full meals. But maybe there's a reason why TV has like grown from like being very story driven and like having very like clear beginning and ends, doing this to where it's gone from in like the 80s, way before that, but like this example is late 80s to early 90s where like it's just kind of like, this is just a show and it starts when it starts and it ends when it ends, and it's like there's no act system, you know, there's no beginning, middle, and end to like TV shows back then. Like even Seinfeld, that started in the early 90s, when it ended in the early 2000s, because Seinfeld in like 2001 or something like that. I think it was somewhere right there. But whenever Seinfeld had ended, they actually like ended the show. Could you imagine if they just had an last episode of Seinfeld and it was just like,
Well, that was
we
also...
went to the shop, but it's still just a sitcom, and this is just still a sitcom.
The last episode of Seinfeld was a Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, could you imagine? Yeah, people would have been like flipping out, and that's only like less than 10 years after this show ended. And now shows that are on today, there's like shows that don't end with like a story. Like people are mad because Game of Thrones didn't end correctly, but it still at least had an ending and like it ended stories with people. But like where this show was just like, let's do a Gone with the Wind show, and that'll be the last one.
It's interesting because the way that this show is regarded, and at least from like the stuff I've read about it, is that like it wasn't just, you know, just a show like that, and like they had like serious moments and like the AIDS stuff. So it is surprising for them to just kind of come in and out like this.
Mm-hmm. You have no comments on this guy.
I just think that there's probably so many better episodes of the show that we didn't get to see because we only watched first and last. And I get that that's the purpose of this podcast, but I'm feeling like I was hoping we would do first and last, and I would scratch this itch of like, oh, there was this funny show that I watched a couple episodes of when I was a kid, and it would be cool to like go back and like see it. And I didn't see any of that show. Mm-hmm. I got to see an hour of other stuff, which is fine.
You can't rely on nostalgia to keep you through the
bad
times.
Guys, getting cold.
Well, but like the first, like I mean, we've been a little hard on this. Like the first episode in itself was like a good episode of TV, though. Like it was a good show. It wasn't a very good pilot to tell you who these characters were and what this show was about. Like, I don't have a clue. All I knew about the first episode was that this show's about like a bunch of sassy ladies that aren't taking no guff from dudes. Like, you know, like, and they also have a business. But like not a whole lot of like real like stuff. And then the last episode was they like Gone with the Wind. Like, and apparently it's over.
Well, and they can call out racism, which I thought was kind of cool. But then they continue to like play into it. So that wasn't very cool.
It's the South, so you know.
Oh, why do we have to
well, I mean,
that?
We don't have like whatever. So I mean, you know, like they once again, like they're using comedy to like with that part, with the racism part, like I didn't find any problem with any of what they did there because they were like joking with it. It's not like it was just a bunch of white people doing it. Like there was black actors that were obviously okay with what they were doing, or they wouldn't have like acted in it probably. And they made fun. They were making fun of all of it. They weren't like being serious.
I do think that what they were trying to do is they were trying to give you both perspectives. They definitely played into Anthony saying, yeah, this was cool for you, but I would be cleaning up after you and it would really suck, right?
Yeah.
It would really suck to be a black person in the South, and like we're sitting here glorifying this Gone with the Wind moment. So yes, I have to say it was great that they did that.
So what did you have a problem with?
Yeah, what's the issue?
I think it was just the fact I'm sick of glorifying the South and this time. And I get it. Like, cool, they can spend out of these 44 minutes, they can spend 5 minutes of it saying this was bad, but they're still spending the rest of the time saying what a beautiful time in life this was and imagining if they could live in it. And it's like, we've got to get past that.
Yeah, so they do a Gone with the Wind flashback, and then the one black character is like, hey, that was pretty messed up though, huh? And they're like, yeah, sure. And then they go to another Gone with the Wind flashback.
Yes. I think that's where I'm like,
back
you
into
guys
like a butler outfit.
They clearly knew that it was not cool. But again, I don't think that this would be made now.
I think
Do you guys think it would
we
be?
might find out, man.
I think it could. I think this could totally this entire episode, like the joke of like flashing back to Gone with the Wind or whatever, could totally be one episode of some show that was right. Like Always Sunny could do this 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that what they did in this episode in any way did they say, you know, that bad shit about like slavery and like like all that stuff. That's good. I don't think they ever did that ever. I think they either made a joke about it, or like Anthony brought up the fact that it wasn't okay. They were either joking.
But by sitting here and making it be and not talking about the reality of the situation, and by glorifying it and making it this amazing past that we could live in, and it was great, and we're gonna fantasize about it. That's saying it's okay.
There's something specific about Gone with the Wind, and it's not just like this was a time when they had slavery. It's that Gone with the Wind was kind of revisionist history about how great the South was, and it was kind of used as like Confederate, like post-Confederate propaganda of like, weren't times great when we had slaves, and like the South was in the right though, right? And that's kind of like the history of Gone with the Wind.
Not ever seeing Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
You know,
You saw enough of it tonight. You're good.
I'm not going to watch Gone with the Wind. But, like, I mean, me watching it never was like, oh, they're glorifying this. I don't know. I just thought they were making fun of it. And then also somebody said, like, this is pretty shitty, right? Like, that's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
It
was. But for me, it's like, oh, you know this is shitty, but you're going to keep doing it. Cool. I don't know. But it also felt like, could they not have done any other ending episode? Like, who was like, great idea. They're going to not have money.
Well, they didn't have an ending episode. This was just an episode of TV. Like,
it
wasn't an end.
But it was like, they needed to design somewhere. So we're going to like make it so that someone's going to put an elevator in where a staircase is.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and it's going to be gone with the, like.
Well, like,
weak.
The thing is, I think about it, like, the things that you said you liked about the first episode, where it's, like, women sticking up to men, and, like, women in the workplace, and, like, women speaking their mind. Did you get any of that in this last episode?
No.
It was about, dreaming about, like, this spectacular old Southern house, and it was about not wanting to lose their company.
And they were saved because the man was dumb and gave them the information. Mm-hmm. And the rich man was buying the company from them for his, like, young bride.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, besides Anthony, every man in this episode was dumb.
Sure.
Like, it was just like a...
But they had more power than the women.
It was... Well, I mean...
So it's like the opposite of what the show's about. And then that's their finale? Oh.
I mean...
Can we go back in time and redo this episode?
That's what Linda Bloodrath wanted.
Bloodworth.
I don't know. Did she actually write this one? I don't know.
I saw her name in the credits. I was like, dope. I don't know. I just feel like I'm not the audience for a 1993 sitcom that is about interior design and Gone with the Wind.
You didn't even know interior designers were a thing until tonight. Like, I'm kind of feeling...
definitely not the audience for interior design.
Yeah.
He hates designing the interior. Joe's
he doesn't. It's not that Joe hates designing the interior. He just doesn't think about it. So it's like, Joe, what do you think about these ideas? And he's like, whatever.
It made me wish, or like watching this beginning and end made me feel like it made me long for the Mary Tyler Moore Show or Golden Girls.
I thought about Golden Girls in like the first episode.
Yeah.
How it was like, oh, this is like a bunch of ladies like being powerful and being hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the last episode I didn't think about the Golden Girls at all during this last episode. It was a poor episode. I don't think it reflected the show well.
Yeah.
Hopefully that wasn't like a continuing thing in the end seasons of the show. Well, hopefully it didn't like go downhill, and maybe they just misstepped hard.
Here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna do something for you guys. I'm gonna find out if they have some Thanksgiving episodes.
You're gonna Men in Black us and get make us forget this.
Well, I wish I could do that. I pull that thing in my pocket and press the button and flash the light. Boing. But yeah, I couldn't think of the sound effect. But I'm gonna find out if there's some Thanksgiving episodes. I'm gonna make Joe sit down and watch. I'm gonna teach him about interior design, and we'll see if the show's actually got some moments in it.
So what you're gonna do for us collectively is make Joe watch TV.
No. Whatever. He made me watch Titanic, like, in parts, and then it's a lot of Titanic. Like,
we haven't finished it yet.
Are you into Titanic, Joe?
Titanic is James Cameron's best movie.
But I mean, you didn't answer the question.
Oh yeah, I love Titanic. It's great.
He's apparently watched it a lot. Every time he fell asleep, he'd wake up and be like, "Oh, did this happen yet?" Or he would do like, "Oh, you know what he's gonna do with that kid, right?" And I'd be like, "No, man." And then he's like, "Oh, just watch."
Joe,
like, the whole movie.
Joe, if you're gonna make someone watch a movie that you quote unquote love, you're not allowed to go to sleep while you're making them watch it with you.
fell asleep.
The minute you fall asleep, Claire is allowed to hit stop.
That old lady started talking, and I was like,
Must love it a lot.
true story. And I got my dad Netflix. Like a couple days later, he sent me a text, and he was like, I thought this thing had a lot of like good movies and stuff. Where's all the good movies like Titanic?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he needs to get Google whatever. No, Disney whatever.
Disney Prime.
Disney Prime?
Whatever it's called.
Yeah. Disney Prime.
If Disney merged with Amazon.
It probably will.
Damazon Plus. Something like that. All right. Well, hey.
Well,
You guys know what we think about the show. Let's go to predictions.
Yes.
Mine were Mary Jo and Ted are remarried. That inconclusive.
Yeah.
Some ladies own a different business / they expanded. It sounds like those ladies were losing their business, and it was they were bad at it. I said Anthony is going on a trip. Anthony is going on some sort of terrifying, like, white privilege, Gone with the Wind horror trip, if that counts. And Julia sings. I thought she was going to.
Oh, I thought she was going
I thought
to.
she was.
But I'm going to give myself a big old 0 like this show.
Maybe this was Dixie Carter's, like, thing that she wanted.
Oh, she's like, we need to do a big Gone with the Wind episode.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. I'm going to do some Googling.
All right. I had Julia sings. She did not. There's a dope vest. And
yes.
one of the present day scenes. I don't know the guy's name still.
Craig.
Yeah.
Clifford? Craig.
Very handsome Craig was wearing a very handsome vest.
Yeah, Craig.
So that's a point. Clinton reference, there was not. And a trip to space, I didn't see it.
I wish they would have shot this episode into space.
They didn't say bitch. Dixie Julia is not moving to California. They were not throwing a party at the house. And we went back and looked for the wicker chair, but it no longer is included in their interior design. So 0 points for me.
Wicker chairs are out in 1993.
Well, I'm going to rate this show out of 10 with how many points we got collectively.
Uh-huh. What, 1?
1 out of 10.
I do declare.
It got 1 point. It got 1 point for each good episode I watched. And I watched 3.
I'm telling you, there's got to be a gem in there.
I feel like if you started from season 1, it's probably good. Because if it continued on what it felt like in the first episode, it was probably a good show for a while. At some point, looking at this last episode, it fell off the horse and got kicked by the horse.
That's what
Well,
they
it was on the
moved it to
ground.
the Friday Night Death Slide or whatever they called
Well,
that.
that shouldn't make the writing worse.
Well, you know,
Unless they also fired all of the
they
writers.
also just like let people do whatever they wanted.
Julia Bloodwrath or whatever her name is, Linda, just said, I don't care. Do a Gone with the Wind episode. I'm going on vacation.
This is how we're ending. Everybody's going to wear dresses.
Well, if you guys want to hear some more hard-hitting reviews like this one today, you can keep listening to First and Last. Hit us up at F&L Podcast on the Gmail, on the Twitter. Tell us what you want to see us watch in the future. Give Joe a compliment. Subscribe to the Spaghetti Pal by just giving Jimmy a nice compliment. Really. And that's really all we got. We'll see you next week on another First and Last. Thank you for listening. And goodbye. I was going to try to say like a southern thing, but I don't know any southern thing. Howdy, y'all. Goodbye, listeners.
And something Chick-fil-A.